3, 2, 1.
Imperfection.
Perfect is impossible and boring.
Partiality, you are not ordinary.
More creative and relaxing.
Something incomplete but can be beautiful.
The real life.
Making jokes and mistakes.
Design should orient on it.
Improve the old ones.
Better. Pattern.
Our world a better place.
The hair in a delicious dish.
The soul of a situation or the soul of a concept.
Beautiful and it's life.
A normal thing.
Perfect itself.
More important than the final.
The part of our life.
Try to make it perfect.
An informal system, I think.
That we need to be creative.
Hello, I'm Jörg. I'm a product and interior designer from Cologne in Germany and was invited to do this workshop. And first of all, I was really falling into Istanbul. We were landing late in the evening, and at the morning at 10 o'clock the workshop started, and we didn't know the city and we didn't know anything about it. And so we were brought together with a group of students. We have 4 Turkish students and 1 German student in our group, and we were told our topic, so we had to start immediately. And our location that we were working on was is the Tunnel Passage. It's a kind of passage architecture where there are shops and antique stores and little cafes. And when we talked to the owner in our research phase, she was really sad because this passage used to be a kind of green lung of Istanbul, kind of urban jungle, because there were all over plants, and it was really nice air to breathe and a nice place to relax. But then a few years ago there were some stupid neighbors that don't want the plants anymore, and so the municipality took all plants off. And we found this topic really interesting, and our task was to create a lighting chandelier for the passage, and we thought with our lighting object we could bring back the jungle into the passage. And this was our big mission then. And we realized after a lot of design sketches, we found out that we built up a kind of lamp chandelier structure out of a wireframe construction that corresponds to the architecture of the Tunnel Passage. And this kind of wireframes construction is very clean shape, but the inner parts or the construction of the lamp is a kind of vegetal structure, like a natural growing structure. And so the idea is to hang the thing on the ceiling of the location, and the shadow of the chandelier creates the shadow of the urban jungle within all over the place. And I think it should work. We are not sure yet because it's at the moment they hang it. So tonight we can prove it if it works or not. But it was a really nice experience also to work with the students here. And as I come from Germany, for me it was a totally new experience to realize how it is to work with the guys here in Sishane and to work in Turkey. For example, all the production processes are super fast and super close. You don't need a car. Everything is in the neighborhood. You can carry the stuff like our structure through the streets and basta. And also the trust in the process is really interesting. So first of all I thought, we have 5 days, it's too short, I don't know if this is gonna be can be realized. But after 2 days I said, okay, this works, we will see. And this was also we found out a real nice master that is specialized in wireframe construction and doing special objects, and all the persons we needed afterwards, all the workshops, it was his friends. So it was really easy just to do this.
My name is Ferhat. I'm from Dortmund. I'm a designer and artist, and my project was to create a flower table for the Mazar Istanbul reception. And yeah, we start the design process and talk. What is a flower table? What should it do? Is it a table out of flowers, or is it a table for flowers, or is it a table for a flower? And yeah, then we talked about that. We go in the city and go to the workshops and do this kind of overloading process. And yeah, it's really simple in Sishane and in Istanbul to do that. Yeah, and then we come down, have some nice ideas, make some sketches and do these things. Yeah, and at the Mazara Istanbul reception there is an old fountain hole, and the students decided to use this, to work with this, and to go in the deeps and go and we have the feeling about the energy goes down in the earth, and yeah, then we have to decide what we want to do. And Mazara Istanbul reception is apartment and for well-being and such things, and there should no energy go down, it should be goes up, and we put a mirror in the hole and make a really nice object for this to present the flower. It's a kind of jewelry, and yes, I don't want to talk too much about it, and you can go there and be inspired. And yeah, after the sketchings and when we find a final form for it, we go to the city, to this big anthill Sishane, and go and use the network there, talk with people and do things like this. And then we found this workshop, and he was really nice, and he can do all the things we want, and he copper the project, the object for us. Yeah, it was really nice to see this, and yeah, then after this was this morning, and then we go to the mandala, put the mirror in the hole, put the object on it, and that's all. So I'm very glad to be here in Istanbul and get inspired of the city, and yeah, I really enjoyed to give the project to the city, and let's do the city the rest. So.
Hi everyone, it was the first experience to work with a group for myself. At the beginning it was a little bit hard, but then I told myself, okay, challenge accepted. Because it's hard to use someone else's idea, and everybody has their own style, but step by step my mind has started to change. The idea of making something together, making decisions together is much more better than I ever did. And I was so lucky because I was working with Pierre, because we didn't use the usual democratic system. We always had conversations about to meet the common point. And on the other hand, although I live in Istanbul, I didn't know the workshops around Sishane, and it's one of the best parts for myself to discover this area. But of course, the best part was of this organization to meet such a great people. So now I have a door to knock on at Köln. So I'm just so happy. This is my experience.
My name is Uli Exner. I'm coming from Frankfurt. I'm an architect.
and we did with my group one of the smallest space in, let's say, the biggest city of of Turkey. And when we saw the space within maximum 12 square meters size, it was more like a walkable furniture than it was a space as a, that we have in our mind as something when we talk about a tea shop or coffee shop. So in the end, they were really satisfied with the whole process of making tea or whatever. So in the end, we thought, okay, what are we doing here? We are in the wrong place. But then, if you look very carefully, we try to figure out how the people behave in this place when they drink their tea, when they talk to each other, and how they occupy certain public infrastructure elements. And this, in the end, was our topic, and we made an analysis from day to night, or from morning to the night, using different people and how they use these places in their personal way. And this was very interesting to see, and what we saw in the end, there were some traces from the sitting on the flower pot, because there was no flower anymore. They used it as a bench, and from the using of the telecom boxes, they used it as a bar. So in a way they took over, occupied these elements for their needs, very temporarily, and this is what our chance, we saw our chance to do something with these very precise, very simple. It's a kind of as-if project, and it looks really like as if it's always there. And this is what we have done with our team and with our master craftsman. He's a really crazy guy, and in a very positive way, and he's so enthusiastic about everything, and he wants to paint everything red on white. You have to really hold him that he's not going through the wall, whatever, so much energy. And but in the end it was so amazing what we realized within the group, that I think that you have a craftsman that is engaged like he was in the end. It's really such a funny thing to create something. And this is an experience which is especially for the students, quite new, and that you really have can make in such a good atmosphere, very clear and very fast in your decisions. And what this is, I think, the positive thing about the workshop from my point of view, and I only can hope that the students have again the ability to do things like this again.
This is the only change or intervention we could.
My name is Felix Stark. I'm an industrial designer and I teach sustainable design in Cologne. And I'm happy to present you the result of the last 4 days now, I think. Our goal was to design an object which helps to focus on the problem of gentrification in the area of Sishane, which in the end leads to the result that more and more of these old established workshops here are pushed out of the city and displaced somewhere else. So in the first day we just sketched around a little bit and tried out new ideas, and then we decided to make a bench for the Dogan apartment complex, which is here in Sishane, right around the corner somewhere here. And it's a famous place, many people visit it, many architects and designers and people who are interested in history, so we think it's a great place to exhibit something like this. And to build this bench, we recycled an old bench we found there in the garden of the apartment, which was broken, and we recycled the metal parts of it and replaced the wooden parts with plywood. And with an industrial laser, we engraved in this plywood a street map of Sishane. The streets we engraved very deep into the wood, so they stay more or less forever in the bench, but the houses, which for us are the representative of the people who are old established here in this area, are going to fade away when the bench is used because they are ripped off. So after a while this bench will only show a grid of streets without any houses, so there is only a skeleton of the city left, like a hollow grid, so which is perfect for investors and perfect for building new expensive apartments, but it's without any naturally grown structure and social infrastructure. And today we are finished with the project. The bench is now in the Dogen apartment, so if you found some time today, just visit it. It's in the garden, and we hope it helped a little bit to focus on this problem here in Sishane. Thanks.
Interest in the workshop. At least in every creative process, you have to cope with a lot of imperfection, and I think we did it quite well. And in a short time, we just had to design such a bench, such a project. It was very, very hard. It was the essence of the designing process, which was very hard, and to me it seems it was not just coping with the imperfection, but it was not only an experience, but it was a therapy, I think, especially for the Germans who like to be very perfectional. But at least there was one perfect thing we realized here, for the co-working with our Turkish students, which I really, really liked, and it was a great experience to see how easy it was to work together, never seen each other before. We did a great job, I think.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the first test if it's going to break, if you're sitting on it. So.
We're having designed a lighting concept.
Hello everybody, my name is Yaz and I'm a product design student. Our brief was to design a unit for Gündoğdu coffee house, which was so important because of its location. It's 120 years old history. It was, as I said, it was such a historical place. It has been renovated for years, so there were items from many ages, and the owner of the shop wanted to start to renovate the shop step by step, and the first step was the lighting. So whatever we designed, it had to be matching with tradition and also as for today with modernism. So after making the sketches, we went to the workshop. But very luckily we were lucky, since the owner of the shop had already assigned the craftsman. Anyways, after doing the sketches, we went there and see if it could be produced. So it's now being done. The importance of the project for me is that since I'm a student, it's the first design that's being produced by a professional. And besides, I had the chance to spend such good time with all these beautiful people. And thank you all for listening.
I try to explain about our workshop. We had chosen the primary school, so it was fixed. We had a fixed point what we had to create in 5 days. It was really tough, but I think we managed it quite well. In the beginning, we had one picture of a primary school here in Sishane, and there was a canteen, which was really empty, and it wasn't a friendly, child-friendly place at all. So we thought, what can we do with this place? What can we do? What the children liked? So we asked the children at first to start the design process. So we went to school and talked to the children, had some interviews with the children, and we wanted to make some drafts, some drawings, what they like to have in their canteen, how it should look like. And it was really, really great. They are really open and they are really excited that something will happen to this place. So we have the pictures, we have their opinions, and then we are thinking, what can we do? Where should we start in this short time? And we wanted to change 3 things. First thing was the situation, the sitting situation in the canteen, because there are only some plastic chairs, and we wanted to create a nice sitting place. The other thing was give the children place to put color into the room, because this is the thing they miss most, we guess. And the third thing, we wanted to change something with the lighting system. Okay, then we worked through Sishane, tried to find workshops, craftsmen. They worked with us, and we got inspired during what was the working through Sishane from two things. One was the transport boxes, and we thought this could be an idea to create furniture out of it, like sitting places, benches, little seats. And then we organized to get a carpenter who helped us to build these boxes, and also we organized to work together with a plexiglass master and to put some color, to add some color to the seats. We can't show any pictures. I have to say it's ready now. We have finished, but we haven't put it to the presentation, so we have to show it later on. In October. The second thing we were working on was to give space to the children to show their pictures. So we made some huge picture frames for them, also made out of plexiglass. And the third thing was the lighting we like to change. So we couldn't change the lighting, it would be too much work in this short time. But we thought we'd bring an installation underneath the neon lights. And so we worked with these sets they're using here in Istanbul. And instead of the metal, we put it fabric underneath. And they are hanging now underneath the lamps, underneath the ceiling, and give a nice light, let's say. And it was really exciting. We managed to bring everything today to the school. And we had a really good time with the children when they came to the canteen and saw the new look, and the lights have changed. They wanted to see the pictures there, and we gave them the chance to create one square place themselves, so they were allowed to draw directly in the canteen. And I think we managed to make it a really friendly, child-friendly and colorful place now.